Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. And this is my first impressions look on the Way of Wade 808 3. So this is the regular version of the 808 3 and I have the Ultra version here as well. I did a full separate video on this shoe, so if you guys do want to check it out, try to leave a link in the description box. Also, if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, the 808 2, the 808 3, and also the 808 3 Ultra, I'll try to leave the link in the description box. I mean, the 808 2 was one of my favorite shoes to hoop in of last year. This shoe is absolutely freaking amazing. Played like Kobe's. And it was just better cushion than Kobe's as well. Super duper cheap as well. And now we have the new iteration of the 808 line. This is obviously the 808 3, the new version, and it retails for a whopping 120 bucks, which is nothing. That's a very, very good price. So if you guys do want to cop, I try to leave an affiliate link in the description box, like I said. But let's get started right off with the Tracciones, and the traction pattern is actually pretty cool. So one thing that I like about what they did from the 808 3 to the 808 3 Ultra is they changed up the actual outsole, and the overall shoe is very, very different too, right? The pattern is different. It's like a totally different shoe. Both of these shoes, it does look pretty similar, but they're totally different, right? They can't use this. They're not using the same exact molds and stuff, right? But coming from the 808 2, right? The 808 2 to the 808 2 Ultra, they were using the same exact outsole. You know, the midsole is different obviously, but like this plastic part and like these windows is exactly the same. So I do like how they changed it up and made it a little bit different, right? But anyways, the traction is feeling freaking amazing. As you guys all know, Way of Wade, I don't know what they're using in the rubber compounds, but it's freaking sticky, guys. It has an amazing bite on my wood floors. It's a really loud high-pitched squeak as well, which I love. That has nothing to do with performance. Squeak has nothing to do with performance, yes, but I mean, I feel like everyone likes to have a little bit of squeak, you know what I mean? It's just weird when the shoe doesn't squeak, you know? So yeah, very, very loud squeak. And also, it seems like it's not gonna pick up that much dust. I mean, the grooves are very well placed apart, which I do like, and we have this kind of like wavy herringbone traction pattern, right, going pretty much throughout the entire outsole. It says 808 here in the heel, and we have the Way of Wade logo right here where the ball of your foot is, and then we have kind of like a 4-foot like oval pod with a different pattern, right? As far as the durability goes, they're using tough rubber, and the rubber is really, really hard, right? The grooves are super duper thick and also very, very deep. So this will be very good for an outdoor court as well, super durable. So of course, we're gonna need to see how it performs on a dusty court, but the traction is feeling really, really good so far. Now moving on to the heel to toe transition. I mean, it is a little clunky here in the heel, right? That is one thing that I don't like about drop-in midsoles that sometimes designers do, is they make this part, the heel, super rubbery, very, very stiff, right? There's no compression here, so it does feel a little clunky in the heel, but we have a kind of rounded shape, so it doesn't feel terrible, right? Just me nitpicking, but I'm sure a lot of people don't mind it, right? And then here in the forefoot, we have a very nice curved shape and a lot of forefoot flex, like a super flexible forefoot, which I like. I like to have a very smooth feeling shoe, so that really helps it, you know, as opposed to something a little bit more stiff, right? Also, torsion support seems pretty good. It doesn't really bend that much here in the midfoot, right? So that's a good thing as well. Some people said that was a problem here in the old 808 2. It does flex a little bit easier, right? But I didn't really have too many problems with that, right? And now moving on to the cushioning setup. So of course we have a drop-in midsole, right? And the drop-in midsole, this actual orange foam is Cloud Foam Plus, and it's pretty damn soft. You can see all the compression, right? Here in the heel, it does obviously, it's a little bit thicker. And then here in the forefoot, it is a lot thinner. So there is a little bit of an offset, but you have really, really amazing court feel. You're super duper low to the ground, just like in the 808 2 and the 808 2 Ultra. So that feels really nice. Step and comfort feels great, and also because of this texture, right, you have pretty good lockdown. Right, my sock just grips this, and I really like how that feels. Some people, they complain about it because it's kind of annoying when you're putting the shoe on it and your sock just kind of rolls over on itself and gets stuck to it. But once you put it on, it like gives you a little bit extra lockdown, which I do like. Now also here on the bottom of the shoe, we have a bottom loaded kind of like boom pod here in the forefoot, which is pretty interesting. Boom is pretty damn soft. I don't really know how much this helps, but I guess is there. And then here in the midfoot, we do have a midfoot shank plate. Look at that. It's plastics, just TPU. But that, of course, also is going to help for torsional support and rigidity. So yeah, the cushion feels really nice. It feels like pretty good for step and cover. You have really good core feel. We'll have to see on impact protection. Of course, impact protection probably isn't going to be the best, just like in the regular 808-2 and the 808-2 Ultra, because you know you're very, very low to the ground, right? So we'll have to see on that, but everything else does seem pretty damn good. But obviously, if you're looking for something amazing, or something super soft, something super comfortable and stuff like that, the 808 line really hasn't been that, you know what I mean? So there is the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the material. So we basically have like this mesh or textile mesh type of material, right? And it's really, really thin, you know, super duper thin. And it also does feel a little bit more like durable than the regular 808 2 was, you know what I mean? We had this very, very open mesh. It does feel pretty similar though, but the 808-3 does feel like it'll be a little bit more durable, but also it has pretty good airflow, right? I don't think it's as good as the Ultra, however. The Ultra has a lot of airflow in the toe box. The 808-3 has a little bit of airflow, right? But yeah, it feels super supportive. It conforms to your foot very well. It just feels a little cheap. You know what I mean? It does feel a little flimsy as well. And I do worry about the durability too. I mean, obviously, like I said, it feels a little bit more durable than the 808-2, but still not the best for durability, it feels like. And then here on the lateral side, we have this kind of like plastic piece. And then for the tongue, on the bottom, we have a pretty open mesh, right? And on top, we have like a pretty minimal amount of padding, actually not that much, but also it's an independent tongue, which is pretty interesting, right? The 808-3 Ultra is a half booty construction tongue. The regular 808-3 is just an independent tongue, which I'm not a huge fan of, you know what I mean? Most modern shoes have like a half booty construction tongue. It keeps the tongue in place so it doesn't move around while you're playing, and also it gives you a better overall one-to-one fit, which I don't know why they did that, but there's that. And then here in the ankle area, we have really, really minimal padding. I mean, I would say the 808-3 has a little bit more padding, especially here in the back of the shoe. So this shoe feels really, really minimal, like this upper. So super thin. If you're looking for like, you know, a lot of padding and a lot of comfort and coziness, obviously this isn't the best. But if you're looking for something super minimal, then yeah, this feels pretty damn good. And now moving on to the fit, I went up half a size and this shoe fits me very, very well. I went up half a size for the Ultra as well, and the Ultra fits a little bit narrower, which is pretty interesting, but still the 808-3 is pretty damn narrow, so be careful on that. Here in the toe box, also it's pretty snug. It's not super duper snug, but it's still a snug fit here in the toe box. Lengthwise, going up half a size, there is a little bit of length, but I feel like if I went true to size, it would be like super duper narrow, super duper snug. So I feel like going up half a size, if you want a still pretty snug fit, then you should be fine, right? But if you want a little bit roomier, then I'll probably suggest going up a full size, right? But for me, going up half a size, I was good to go. And now moving on to the support and lockdown, I feel like it'll be pretty good, right? So of course, drop-in midsoles have an advantage as well, because companies, you know, with the drop-in midsoles, they put the foam up on the side, on the lateral side, and also on the medial side, but it like kind of cups your foot and acts as a lateral counter with that drop-in midsole. And also on the outside of the shoe, we have some lateral counters as well, right? So here in the forefoot, we have this plastic piece, right? Which is pretty dope. You know, it does look really cool. I do like this pattern on it as well. Now also this plastic, right? They inserted this plastic and kind of stiffens up the material as well, which I do like. It doesn't add that much. It's just a little bit of some, you know what I mean? So that's pretty damn nice. And then here in the midfoot, this plastic part does start to come up, acting as a sidewall. And then we have this crazy external piece as well. So lateral containment feels like it's gonna be good. Also lateral stability, we have a pretty wide base. Look at this outrigger, you're low to the ground. So yeah, support and lockdown feels like it's gonna be good. I'm not experiencing any type of heel slippage or anything like that either. Now moving on to the weight of the shoe, I feel like this shoe is gonna be pretty heavy just because they're using so much rubber and also so much plastic. So I'm guessing like 13 ounces. I don't think, 12.95 ounces. So basically 13 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 13.05 ounces. So the average weight of my shoes are around 12.5 ounces. So 0.5 ounces heavier than average. Isn't heavy at all, really. Yeah, and it does feel a little bit lighter than the 808-3 Ultra. Probably because this has a little bit more plastic going on, you know? But yeah, still probably gonna be a very responsive shoe. Traction feels good, cushion feels responsive and low to the ground. Support seems good too. So yeah, it'll probably play like the 808 too, which of course is not a bad thing. Now moving on to the aesthetics, I love it, dude. Actually, what do you guys think looks better? The 808 2 or the 808 3? Honestly, I love the 808 2, but I think the 808 3 looks a little bit cleaner. Also love this colorway. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yes, the 808 3 is feeling freaking amazing. I can't wait to play in these. And it'll probably perform like a Kobe. You know, the 808 2 performed like a Kobe, and because of this, it definitely reminds me a lot of like the Kobe 11. You know how it was just rubber here? Kobe 11 was like that. The Kobe 9 was the same, you know? Because of like the rubber and plastic, you know. So anyways, it's only 120 bucks, and my first impressions of the 808 3 are looking super duper good. So that about concludes this video. Again, if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I try to leave the link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.